Winning.
Pick.
Weekly.
Smith for the win.
Raisi K.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another week of college football bets. We are coming off a huge college football slate. Amazing football. In my opinion, a terrible board this week. Terrible matchups. And, it's an up and down season. We're learning so much. We have Colorado trash talk. We have Ohio State naming quarterbacks. We have Michigan rolling. We have Alabama losing. We have Texas is back. Things are happening all over the college football world. Any notes before we get into our first games on Friday, guys?
Well, Texas is back. We didn't mention that. Texas smoked Bama.
Texas is back. Mentioned that.
Yeah.
But Greg likes to hear it. So, Greg,
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but Texas is back.
I heard that, and I mean they looked good against Bama. I was wrong about that. Hand up, Joe Milton did not look as good against Texas as he did against Middle Tennessee. And
Go figure, bro.
Yeah, my calculations didn't have him falling off that much. I don't know, I got to go back to the algorithm, rework it a little bit. Something was off.
All right. Well, we're all.
Oh, and a real quick, Oregon best bet, never in doubt. Just had to throw that out. That never in doubt. Was never nervous about that.
My best bets
easy.
were a nightmare. Just hand up on that one. My best bets were a complete disaster. Pitt was, I was completely wrong about Pitt. I thought they were gonna come in and smoke Cincy, and Jerkovich was gonna play great, and Cincy was all over him.
Do you think they think that Pitt's just not as good as you thought, or do you think Cincy is better than what you thought?
I think Cincy's definitely better than I thought.
Okay.
I think both, but I think this is how Pitt is every year. They're shaky every year, I guess. I thought Jerkovich was going to be better, but Cincy's definitely better. It's more Cincy's better than I thought they were than Pitt. This is just who Pitt is. They always, every year they lose a game that they shouldn't probably, but I think Cincy is a little bit better. So
nice. All right. Yeah, that's good because I didn't watch too much of that game, but those are two teams I like to bet on. So I'm happy you're doing a little research. I'm happy we do this podcast to talk about these types of things.
That was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing one, and the Arkansas one was embarrassing. I thought they were going to, because I faded Kent State again. I still think Kent State's awful. I think that Arkansas is one of those teams where it's like, oh, they're in the SEC, so they must be good. And it's like, once again, Arkansas kind of stinks.
Bad.
And I think that's something that we need to be on now, because they struggled to dominate Kent State. So that's something to keep an eye on. I don't think Arkansas is very good this year. And it's like, oh, they play in the SEC. Who cares? They're just not that good. Again, by the way.
I like that. I like that you already got me looking at one of my picks later on. But John, let's kick it off. Let's start chronological as we like to do.
All right, let's start off with the Friday night. Greg, you seem to have a game on your mind.
I do. I mean, I was all over Maryland last year. They were okay last year. They weren't great.
Tua's brother.
Yeah, I just don't think Virginia's very good. I mean, 14.5 points at home. Would love it if it dropped under 14. I don't think it's going to happen because all the money's on Maryland, which makes me a little nervous. But yeah, give me Maryland in this one. Minus 14.5 at home. I kind of like the Friday games. I got 2 out of the 3 games. Gonna be watching a lot of football Friday, I guess. So yeah, give me Maryland minus 14.5 to kick this off.
Just feels like such a Joe pick right there. I mean, I see what you're saying, but it just seems line is moving away. Everybody's on them. Seems off. Chip, do you have a thought there?
I have Maryland too, for pretty much the same reason Greg said. I just think Virginia is so bad. I feel actually pretty terrible for them because I really like their coach. And after what they went through last year, I wish they were better. But I think they're really going to struggle this year. They lost a lot of guys. And I just think Maryland is much better. I just don't think Virginia is very good. So I have Maryland here.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Greg, you got another Friday game?
Yeah, yes, I do. I like the under in Utah State and Air Force. I don't like Utah State. They're kind of a spite team for me to bet against, but I mean, we saw Air Force, or we didn't see Air Force, we saw Navy against Notre Dame. Seen Air Force play, and they can move the ball a little bit more than like Navy and Army, but Utah State just is not looking too strong. I like the under 46.5. I thought was just a little bit too high. And like I said, I think Maryland's going to be playing a pretty good game. That's why at the same time I'll be watching Utah State on my cell phone and just hoping that I don't see any score updates.
It's funny that you say that because Sam Houston was one of my best bets last week against Air Force. That game was never in doubt. It was 13-3 by the end of it. You said Air Force could move the ball. I did not see that last week. They could not move the ball against Sam Houston, man. I love the Sam Houston
Yeah.
defense. I'm telling you. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's their defense or it's Air Force. I like the under, actually. That's a nice pick.
Yeah, Air Force laid an egg last week for sure, but Utah State's
I think that was
terrible.
more Sam Houston. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I like the Sam Houston team. They're gritty.
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think Air Force is good. Utah State's atrocious. They're one of the worst teams in the country. I think Air Force bounces back this week. I have them -9.5. The under's a good pick though, Greg. I think
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
I
a
they
good
like
just
one.
they just run the ball. They don't throw.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
run the ball. So again, just with these new NCAA rules, I think these unders are going to keep diving a little bit lower. Right now, you could pick one off on a Friday. It's not going to have a lot of action on it. So 46.5, I think it's just a little too high.
Chip, you have anything on Army or you want to move on to Saturday?
I actually don't have that game. The
Let's
Army game.
go.
I didn't.
All right.
So yeah,
So-
I took Navy tonight. So Navy. I took Navy and Air Force. No Army.
Okay.
Give me Army.
Okay.
Give me Army plus 8.5.
All right. We all have to take one.
I
I'll
hate
probably
UTSA.
I'll probably end. Oh, you hate UTSA? Why?
Yeah,
Right?
why?
Or am I thinking of UTEP? Who played Northwestern last week?
Oh, UTEP. Yeah, I
Was
hate them
UTEP.
too.
All right,
God,
UTEP's who I
they
hate.
lost to Northwestern.
UTEP's
Yeah.
who I hate, but I just
Yeah,
like
same.
Army. If I bet an Air Force, might as well bet Army here plus 8.
That's a joke, but you just don't picks on the board, Greg, but I can't hate on it. All right, Chip, start us off with Saturday at noon. What do you got?
Well, I might as well start one of my best bets.
Let's
The
go.
Ohio Bobcats plus 3.5
I like
at
that.
home against the Iowa State Cyclones. I was looking at a bunch of trends today.
Is this a spy pick for Iowa State?
No, I have nothing against Iowa State.
Oh, they just stink. Last week we were talking about how much they stink when they're playing up against Iowa.
Yeah, they definitely stink. That's
Yeah,
part of it. I just think their program is in complete shambles. Yeah, over everything. And Ohio 5-2 in their last 7 games as a road underdog, as a home dog. Sorry, they're at home.
Yep.
I really like Ohio. I think they can win the MAC. I have a future on them to win the MAC. So obviously I think they can win the MAC. Future on them in Northern Illinois. But so I've been betting them a lot this year. I like this Ohio team. Like I said, I like fading Iowa State this year just because of everything that's going on with the program. The quarterback's still not playing. Maybe I watched Iowa State last week against Iowa. The quarterback, by the way, is Anthony Beck's son, the guy who used to play tight end for the Jets.
Yes. He
And-
also covers the Jets now.
Oh, really? I didn't
Mhm.
know that actually. But he looked brutal last week. Obviously, Iowa and Ohio different, but he looked just completely rattled. And I think they're going to struggle on the road against Ohio. I like the Bobcats there. There's a reason it's only 3.5, a MAC team against a Big 12 team. They're not playing like a typical Big 12 team.
Yeah, I see 92% of the money right now on Iowa State, so it makes me really like Ohio. I'm going to be adding that to my card as well.
Mm.
I think I like Ohio too. Definitely keeping that in mind. All right. You're starting up for the best bet. Why don't I start off with the best bet here? I love LSU. Any way you can get them. You were talking my first quarter bet. Yes, definitely take them in the first quarter if you can. But I love them full game -9.5. They are obviously due to come back here. They weren't as bad as they showed. Mississippi State stinks. They couldn't even cover versus Arizona. I love LSU. -9.5. That's easy. I hope this doesn't go over the 10.
I like that. I'm gonna go. I mean, you got Chip. You seem to start a trend here. John's continuing with best bets in this early slate here. I got 2 best bets in this early slate. I'm gonna start with Penn State. Penn State -14.5. I got the Jets logo. I just realized is my background. I got to change that to my Penn State background. Because that is my college team. I have them go undefeated, have them to win all types of things, have them on the over. So -14.5 against Illinois. Illinois, Chip and I went head to head last week. I felt bad when Kansas rolled out in those uniforms, Chip. I think
Yeah,
those are some cool uniforms.
we went head to head and you rolled me. It was offense over defense. If you want to count what Illinois does as defense anymore, because that defense is not what it was last year.
Yeah, at least not right now in the season. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, Illinois is one of those things. I don't know if you guys, I mean, John, I know we do a lot more draft stuff, NFL stuff, but Illinois is one of those programs that has been turning out safeties the last 2 or 3 years.
Sure.
Yeah, secondary for sure. But like, I think they have like 5 safeties right now in the league that are all playing like at a high level. So I don't know if there's another up and coming guy that maybe needs to get it going for Illinois to help kind of
Maybe.
solidify that defense, but they're not going to solidify it against Penn State
No.
this week. So give me Penn State -14.5 as my first best bet.
I got that one too. I agree with you. I think Penn State's really going to mess them up. And they're good on the road. Franklin's good on the road.
Yeah, I got first quarter. I got first quarter Penn State -3.5. So just need a touchdown, early touchdown here. Get me going.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
All right, Chip. Keep us going with the 12 o'clocks.
Is the Missouri game, is that 12 o'clock Missouri?
Yeah,
against,
it's before 3. I don't know if it's exactly at noon.
Yeah, Missouri, Kansas State is 12 o'clock.
Yep.
I have Missouri +4 against Kansas State. I don't understand why that's 4.
It looks like it's at 3.5 now.
Okay, yeah.
3.5, 4. Yeah, some places have it different.
Again, I don't understand that. They struggled to beat Middle Tennessee at home last week, and now they're 3.5-point dogs. I know against Kansas State, the 15th ranked team in the country. I know they're at home, but I don't understand how that makes sense. And that being that makes me want to take Missouri so much. So I'm all over Missouri there. I'm taking them, whether it's 3.5, 4. I like Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, this is my second best bet of the day, and maybe it's a square pick. John and I were just talking about it on the NFL episode.
Oh, I didn't even notice you had that.
If you, no, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, John and I were just talking about it on the NFL episode. So if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. We're talking about kind of like, do you keep going with square picks early in the season, or do you try to get sharper and take the picks that make you sick, but as a gambler, someone who's been gambling for a while, those are the picks that are usually right. For right now with Kansas State, I'm rocking with it. I hate that we're going head to head on it, but I think Kansas State
last week.
It's just but Kansas State, this one worries me. To your point, I think it should be 13, not 3. So it worries me a little bit, but it's my square best bet pick of the week. I'm going with Kansas State. To your point, there's the 15th ranked team against Missouri. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, you could be right, and they could end up winning by 3 touchdowns. It wouldn't surprise me, but
yeah.
All right, I'll jump to this game. This game is surprisingly easy for me, and it's a huge underdog. I got Georgia Southern +19.5 against Wisconsin. Georgia Southern first game, they were -34 against Citadel. They won 34-0, right on the money. Last game, they covered against UAB. I think it was like -9 or something, -7. They won by double digits. Wisconsin stinks. I need them to win their division. Okay, I think they're gonna win today. I just think they stink. 19.5 is way too much for Wisconsin. I don't even know if they could actually. I don't even know if by themselves they could score 21 points. So I don't know how they're gonna win by 19.5. Like, I think Georgia Southern's gonna score. I think Georgia Southern could score. I know Wisconsin has a good defense. That's what they tell me. I know they have a good offense. That's what they tell me. Georgia Southern could sneak, is going to make this a game into the second half. They're not going to win. I really need Wisconsin to win, but I love Georgia Southern 19.5.
The Tanner Mordecai air raid at Wisconsin experiment is not off to a good start. And I'm with you. I had them to win the Big Ten West. I bought into what everyone else was selling, and I'm a big Luke Fickell fan, and I'm like, whoa, yeah. But I'm adding that to my card. I'm gonna fade him this week, so we'll see. But Georgia State, right? That's who they're playing.
Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern. God, I always get them mixed up. But
all my exes live in Texas. Okay.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that one. It's one of those where Wisconsin might quickly be coming up on bet against, like just every week, just bet against them because it takes time to get these things going, especially with a program like Wisconsin switching to the air raid. We kind of talked about in the preview a little bit. I think it's just going to take time. I'm staying away from it because to me, it feels like Wisconsin should bounce back. But like I said in the NFL episode, John, I just don't know if they have the guys to bounce back with.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm staying away from Wisconsin this week.
All right, on to the afternoon games.
I got one more in the early games.
All right, what do you got?
I like the LSU. I don't know if I mentioned it when you were talking about your best bet.
That was my best bet.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I like it too. That's on my card. FSU is my final best bet early in the against BC. It's partly because I don't like BC because I'm a fan of Chip over here, Chip Murphy 7 on Twitter. Follow him. It's also because I believe in FSU. I mean, 26 just doesn't seem like a ton of points if BC's as bad as they seem to be. And I think Florida State's just good. I think they're going to contend for a national championship, but they're definitely, I think, going to win the ACC unless Duke can do something miraculous. So I think Clemson's done. So, yeah, give me FSU minus 26 points against BC.
I like that. I actually have Boston College's team total under. It's 9.5, and it's plus money on DraftKings, and I think they're an embarrassingly bad team. So I think I don't think they'll score a touchdown against Florida State. I think Florida State will crush them. I was worried about the possible look ahead to Clemson, but I think this Florida State team is just so locked in. I think they're amazing.
Yep.
And my other noon games are UMass +7 against Eastern Michigan.
Ooh.
The over 50.5 in Indiana against Louisville. And I actually have Mississippi State +9.5 against LSU. Yuck. I think, good news for you guys. I've been, because when I've gone head to head with you guys have won. So I'm off LSU. So I'm going to Mississippi State here.
Just one game. They'll be in the SEC championship.
Ooh, I guess we'll see.
All right, Greg, why don't you start us off in the afternoons?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a tough one for me, but I'm rocking with Notre Dame minus 34.5 against Central Michigan. Sucks because Central Michigan is a team that I like to bet. I bet them early in the season. I just think Notre Dame is this good. Like, I think that this is your last week. Maybe next week. I forget who Notre Dame plays next week. I think they have a big game. This might be one of the last weeks you have a chance to get Hartman +16, +18, +2,000 to win the Heisman. After that,
torches Ohio State. Yeah,
it's Ohio State 2 weeks from now, and they're going to. I don't know what the line is going to be, but they're going to kill Ohio State. So, this might be a look ahead spot. This is where I'm saying, like, maybe middle of the season, I would look at this and say, oh, give me Central Michigan easy. I like Central Michigan. It's a look ahead spot for Notre Dame. There's no way they're covering this big of a number, but I just think right now you have to go with what you know. And we know Notre Dame can kill some inferior opponents. Not going to say bad team, but inferior opponents. So, give me Notre Dame minus 34.5.
Yeah, I'm going with the first quarter there, minus 7.5. But yeah, I like that pick. Chip, you have any thoughts there?
No, I think I'm gonna stay away from that one, but I'm gonna wait to bet Notre Dame in the Ohio State game. But I do like the pick. I am thinking about taking it, but I think I'm gonna inevitably stay away from that one, and then probably add it to my card at the last minute.
Follow Chip Murphy 7 on Twitter. Winning Picks Weekly on Twitter. We'll tweet everything out on Saturday before these games go live.
All right, what else we got for us, Chip?
For the 3:30, let's do another one of my best bets is Iowa against Western Michigan under 42. Iowa's last 10 non-conference games, all of them have gone to the under. So I'm just another under in an Iowa non-conference game. I thought about Western Michigan's team total under. I'm just going to go with the games under. Western Michigan's really, really, really bad. Yeah, I don't think they'll score really much of anything against Iowa. So the under there is pretty much self-explanatory. I don't think Western Michigan will move the ball much at all against them. And also like Duke minus 18.5 against Northwestern. I think Duke's going to keep the foot on the gas and keep going against them. And
so I got first quarter for both of those. First quarter Duke is minus 6.5. First quarter Iowa is minus 6.5.
First quarter.
I like that. I'm tacking Iowa under 42 into my card, and I also had Duke. I just like Northwestern had a great game last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they keep it going against Duke. I think Duke comes in and rolls.
Yeah, I like Duke first quarter too, John. I think Duke's definitely going to come out hot in the first quarter, so I like that one. They're going to be pumped, ready to go. And is Bama's 330 too?
Yeah. Yep.
I like South Florida plus 33 against Bama. I like that one. I don't think.
Greg, thoughts, concerns?
We're head to head. I mean, give me Bama minus 33.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not my thing, but the list, I mean, I don't stick with the list all the time, but this is a list play, man. Bama lost bad. They're playing an inferior opponent. I like Bama first half. I like Bama full game.
Saban on McAfee.
That's why I like South Florida so much. And South Florida 7-1 in their last 8 games against the spread against ranked teams, by the way. So
that.
Hey, I'm saying it could be. I'm sticking with that. I'm chalky. I'm square in this first 2 weeks here. It's been working out for me in college. Worked out okay in NFL. I think I went 8-8, or I was off by 1 or 2. So, doing much better in college. It's a square pick for sure. Bama. I'm not done on the Bama train yet. 33 is just a lot of points. So makes me a little nervous, but I'm taking it.
All right, so I'm trying to stray away from that. I'm trying to take the sharp side, right? Minnesota is 0-2 against the spread. Everyone loves UNC. They have Drake May. Everyone is going to call Appalachian State the fluke. They just can't play Appalachian State. That's just like a one-time thing. I didn't think they looked that great against South Carolina, but it feels like a long time ago anyway. I'm taking Minnesota. I wish it was more points, but 7.5, I'm taking that. That just screams take UNC. I'm taking Minnesota as a quote-unquote sharp bet for myself for the 3 o'clocks. I'm also in that same vein taking Western Kentucky plus 29.5. I've been watching them this year. I mean, they didn't play any real teams, right? They played South Florida. They crushed them. They didn't cover against Houston Christian, but it was 42.5, and they won by 30. Yeah. So it's like whatever. So I'm taking Western Kentucky. I have them in one of my futures too, so probably a little bit of bias in there as well. So I got those two as my quote unquote sharp bets in the afternoon.
I'm against you on the UNC pick. I like UNC in that one. I think 7.5 is just not enough. I think the UNC defense is just a little bit better than what people think still. They're definitely better than what they were last year. They were non-existent last year. So, yeah, give me the minus 7.5 in that. And then I like San Diego State under an Oregon State. I think Oregon State's an interesting team with Jones there, right, at quarterback. I just think that what was the stat I was looking at? All of a sudden, none of these guys have really played anyone great. And then all of a sudden, San Diego State played UCLA last week, and it was 35-10. All of a sudden, they played a good team, and they were only able to score 10 points. I think both these teams are okay. Oregon State's obviously ranked right now. I don't know if that's going to hold out all season, but I think both these teams are evenly matched. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think 46 is just a little too high. So, yeah, give me the under 46.5.
All right, Chip, what else you got for us?
Yeah, I have Oregon State spread in that one. I also have the over in the Georgia game, Georgia against South Carolina. I think Georgia's going to score a ton of points in that one. I don't think I was, again, hand up. I was totally wrong about South Carolina. I don't think they're that good this year. I think they're going to regress a little bit. Not a 3:30 game, but another one of my best bets. This is later, 5 p.m. Washington team total over 36.5 against Michigan State. I thought about taking the over and thought about taking Washington spread, but it's such a big number on the road.
Yeah.
I just think Michael Penix will put up serious numbers.
That's why I took first quarter minus 3.5.
Yeah, that's a good play too. I may add that too. And I thought about the spread. I thought like maybe Michigan State gets a touchdown at like the end of the game or something. And I just know 16. Why did it change?
No. I'm just trying to figure out like 16 is the spread. Do you think they're going to score 36 points? So do you think like Michigan State's going to be able to put up like 20 something points?
I think, like I said, I think at home, I think maybe they get like a garbage time touchdown as possible.
Okay.
Plus, I'm not sure how it's going to be, what the atmosphere is going to be like with no Tucker. Are they going to like be flat or are they going to come out hot? Because I know they got the old coach on the sideline too. D'Antonio is on the sideline. So I'm not sure about that. The only thing I know about that game is that Washington's going to light them up and Penix is going to put up numbers. So I'm confident about Washington's team total.
Gotcha. Yeah, I want to get in on Washington. It's one of those things I cannot get behind Penix, even though I know he's good. Like I know he plays well, and I don't like Michigan State. I want to bet this game some way, somehow. So again, check back in on Twitter because I might end up adding it to my card. It's such it might just be first quarter because dude, it's such a question mark on what this atmosphere is going to be like and what this team does. It's crazy, but to your point, if you remove a lot of the question marks, you know Washington's going to be good. So 36.5, I think is a decent play there. I might end up doing that. My last pick for this afternoon slate, John, Oklahoma minus 27.5 against Tulsa. I'm going big spreads all day, firing. People are talking about, a lot of people are saying it's a bad card, John. You mentioned to start. When you start throwing these 27 points, 33 points, 34 point spreads around, all of a sudden everything matters. And all of a sudden I'm screaming at my TV for a bad punt in the first quarter. So give me Oklahoma minus 27.5. It's just simple math here. I just don't think Tulsa's very good. I think Oklahoma is pretty good. They're not great. They're not going to do anything, but I think they're going to be able to win by 4 touchdowns against Tulsa.
All right. My last bet of the afternoon is Tulane versus Southern Miss. You know how much I love Tulane, but 12.5 is too much. And I like Southern Miss too. Everybody's on Tulane. I get it. I'm taking Southern Miss plus 12.5 in like my sharp bet, another sharp bet. Like just dogs. I'm going to take them all on a parlay, so I'm not taking them all separate. I just got this dog parlay rolling, and I'm throwing them in there. Southern Miss, 11.5. Anything else before the sevens?
Nope.
Chip, why don't you start us off with the sevens?
Okay. I'll start with, and I don't love this one, but it's a big game, so I'm going to start with it. Florida plus 6.5. I just thought, no, I know you're shaking your head at me. No.
Well, I have Tennessee best bet minus 6.5. So
Chip hates us. That's one thing I'm realizing.
I didn't even notice. I swear I wasn't even looking.
No, we do this on purpose. We try to keep our picks separate, but I love that we're just all against each other left and right. It's like
Graham Mertz sucks. Graham Mertz sucks. The Gators suck. Like I don't understand how you could bet them to do anything ever.
Again. Why is it only 6.5?
Because Tennessee sucked last week.
Okay. So Tennessee sucked last week. Why are we assuming they're going to roll over Florida?
Because Florida is just bad. I would say that Tennessee had a bad game. There's nothing about Florida. Graham Mertz. That's what I'm supposed to bet on.
I'm not a Graham Mertz guy. I'm not a
Graham Mertz. He's the quarterback.
I know. I'm not like. I also think he's better than
He's better than Petre. He's not the quarterback from Iowa last year. That's about it. That's about who was better.
Okay. I'll say this. He's not the reason they lost the Utah game. He didn't play great, but he's not the reason they lost that game. And I don't know.
He certainly didn't help.
He didn't win them the game against a backup quarterback. Yes.
He sucks.
John, what do you think about Joe Milton? Like, have you? I mean, I've talked about Joe Milton a little bit. Have you watched a lot of Joe Milton? Like, I give you that Graham Mertz stinks, but dude, Joe Milton, if you're watching this game, you're betting big money on this game. He's gonna
Yeah.
drive you absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I know.
Has the Joe Milton thing finally worn off? Like, are we still saying that Joe Milton's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, or is that finally gone now that we've actually watched him play?
No,
I don't think that's a real thing.
Okay.
I think both. My pick for this game, I got a pick for this game too. I think both these quarterbacks suck. I like under 59 points.
That
Like,
could
I
be
think
the right
these
one,
guys
yeah.
are just gonna be driving you crazy. I think both these teams are just gonna have weird drives where they either turn the ball over or like Joe Milton, just 3 insane incompletions in the dirt and then just punt. It's like, what was that drive, guy? Like, what's going on? So yeah, give me the under 59 this game. Again, to your point, Chip, with the spread, like why is it only 6? I'm not sure if I know why this over under is almost 60 points.
Yeah, that's weird with the new clock too that they have it that much. Maybe they think both defenses are bad. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I don't think any of these guys have. I mean, I guess Florida played Utah, but that game went under too. Like, I just don't.
Also,
I think when
how
these
good
better
is
teams
Utah?
start playing each other, yeah, that's
Also,
true.
how good is Utah really? They should have lost to Baylor.
It's true.
I know. That was really bad.
That's true.
Yeah.
60 just seems high. So
Mm-hmm.
All right, Greg.
I like Oak State. Oak State -7 against South Alabama. A lot of people talked up South Alabama going into the season. I'm not sure why. I like Oak State. I like my oh my god, I just blanked on the coach's name there. Gundy.
Yeah, Mike Gundy. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, give me a -7. I just think that Oak State's a better program, better team right now than South Alabama. And then my other pick I was looking at, what I think Chip might have talked me out of it, was Arkansas. I think this is a great bounce back spot for Arkansas. They can't. The fact that they couldn't throw the ball against Kent State worries me to no end. That's why if the spread was a lot higher, I'd be nervous about it. But it's only 14 points. I don't think BYU's good. I'm sorry, it's only 7 points. I don't think BYU is very
You have
good.
7? I have 8.5 here. The BYU Arkansas one.
Oh, I see 7.5. I see 8.5 on some books too. So let's do -8.5. I'll take -8.5. Arkansas. I just don't think BYU is very good.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
They're definitely not. I just don't think Arkansas is either. I'm
I just don't-
not. Yeah, I'm
I
not.
just don't think you're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to run, and I think that's enough to win this game by 14.
Yeah, I'm debating whether or not this is the right spot to fade Arkansas out of spite, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure it is because they're at home against a BYU team that's kind of meh. So,
well, if they
I don't
lose
think this is the
outright,
right one.
if they lose outright, Chip, then next week you and I can double team and jump on the Arkansas hate list.
There we
And
go.
we'll just bet against them.
Yeah,
Fair
this is
enough.
this
No matter
is
who
a stay
they
away.
play.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of teams that stink, I'm taking Nebraska -2.5 in the first quarter, and I'm taking against Northern Illinois, and I'm taking UAB. My boy Trent Dilfer. That line is running. Went from -0.5 to -2.5 against the Raging Cajuns. I'm taking that as long as it stays under 3. I think this is UAB's game. They're finally going to get it together. They've been looking okay the first 2 weeks. Nothing great. Nothing good. Just okay.
That works for me. Last pick for me for the 7:00 window. Watched Hawaii and New Albany as much as I could, staying up last weekend. I've watched a couple of Hawaii games because they're always the late game. They're earlier this week, hosting Oregon. I like the under 68.5. I just don't think Hawaii is going to be able to score. I just don't think Hawaii is very good.
I thought you were going to take Hawaii.
I know.
No.
Me too. Me too, dude.
No, if anything, I was going to take Oregon because this is the theme of the week. I am laying big spreads. Like, I can't wait to talk about this 10 o'clock slate because I am laying big spreads all over the place. But now, give me the under in this. I just think you're going to the island. If you're Oregon, you're going to the island. I know it's not the longest trip in the world because they're already on the West Coast, but again, 70 points is just, if Hawaii was able to throw it around like they have been in the past, I could see it. Can Oregon score 70 on their own? We saw it week 1. I don't think Hawaii is as bad as the team they played week 1. I just don't think Hawaii is going to be able to get you 20 points. So I think Oregon's got to do it on their own. I just don't think they're going to get you 70. So give me the under in that one.
It's not bad. Chip, I got to ask you something.
Yeah.
Greg said, it seems like you're hating us. With this pick, I know this is a problem.
I know what you're about to say.
But I just love what Purdue has been doing this year. Every Purdue game I watch, I'm like, this team is really good. I don't know what else to do. I keep watching their games and they keep playing really good. So they're at home. And we don't have to worry about, the Syracuse at home. You don't have to tell me about that. We don't have to pretend that that's a real home field. Was it Purdue at home plus 2.5? What do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously we're going against each other on that one. That's what I think. I'm taking Cuse minus 2.5. And if Purdue's so good, why are they dogs at home against Cuse? That's what I'd say to that.
I don't know.
But I think Cuse, the one thing I will say in your advantage is Cuse has not played anybody yet. This is the first real team they played. They opened up against Colgate, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And then last week they had Western Michigan, who's also awful. So this is the first real test for Cuse that it may take a minute for them to get into the groove of playing against a real team. And Purdue is clearly better than we thought they were going to be. They beat Virginia Tech last week, who might stink, but it's still a win. And I'm not sure Purdue's going to be the worst team in the Big Ten, like some people might have thought. So, yeah, I'm taking Cuse, obviously. I think Cuse can win. And the 2.5, I think, is a small enough number. I don't think it's – I like Cuse. I like Cuse on the road. I think Cuse has the significantly better quarterback, in my opinion. And Cuse still has a good defense, like they usually do. So I like them in that spot.
All right, can I just give you a little bit of breaking news that has nothing to do with college right now? But
Sure.
Aaron Rodgers, successful surgery. Wow. Let's go.
Great.
Huge to hear.
September 14th. See, the 1 year road to recovery begins now.
Need it.
Greg, some momentum going into the 10 o'clocks.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is my honorary best bet. I'm just going to rattle these three off because I like them all. I'm happy to be watching. Friday football, I got 3 games. Saturday at 10 p.m., I got 3 games. Colorado minus 23.5 against Colorado State. I think that's
the first quarter there, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an easy one. Kansas minus 27.5 against Nevada. All 3 of these teams are decent teams. Colorado is good. Kansas is good. Kansas is okay. And then I have Arizona, my best bet, minus 17.5 against UTEP. That's my spite pick from last week for UTEP. Absolutely stinking it up against Northwestern, getting shellacked by 30. I think Arizona is okay, but UTEP might be terrible. All 3 of these teams, Kansas, Colorado, or Arizona, are all decent. All these opponents are inferior. Colorado State, Nevada, and UTEP. So, yeah, give me the big favorites all weekend, and I'm gonna finish it off on Saturday night with 3 more big favorites.
What do you got for us, Chip?
Yeah, the late games, I have Colorado too, and I have Fresno against Arizona State. What was the other? Who was Kansas playing? You said, Greg?
Kansas is playing Nevada.
Yeah, I'm going to add that one too. I know Nevada's awful, and Kansas just looked amazing last week. I'm going to take them. I also have my speaking of spite picks, my spite pick is the backyard brawl, West Virginia against Pitt. I know that line's moving around a lot. Last I looked, it was West Virginia minus 3. I took West Virginia in that game last year, and they covered. I'm taking them against this year. I don't know why I took Pitt last week. I hate Pitt. I hate their coach. I'm never going to bet them again. I'm taking West Virginia in this game. So that's my spite pick. And I got the rest of my night slate. Michigan Bowling Green under 53.5. Akron, Kentucky under 49.5. The over 56.5 in Toledo, San Jose State. James Madison, Troy over 46.5. The over in Illinois, Nebraska. I'm not going to take Northern Illinois spread because you said you were taking Nebraska, John. So that talked me off of Northern Illinois.
Just for the first quarter.
Oh, just for the first quarter?
Yeah, the line's
Nebraska?
too much. I'm not trying to take Nebraska 10.5, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I just got the first quarter.
Okay, you know what? Now that you're not taking full game, I'm going to take Northern Illinois full game. I'm going to do
Yeah.
that too. And what was my other one? Oh, TCU -7 against Houston. I'm baffled by that. Houston's atrocious. The coach is
Yeah.
going to get. I love fading a lame duck coach. Dana Holgerson is a lame duck. Love TCU -7.
I can't believe what's happened with him. I mean, the momentum he
What a
had that he
fall
was
from
riding.
grace, dude.
Yeah.
My God.
And it's nothing. I don't think it's anything nefarious. I just don't think he's been able to get that program going. Like, it's
No.
crazy.
I just think he was the guy at West Virginia. Like, he
Yeah.
was such a hot name. And now, like, I just don't think he's a very good coach anymore. Like, he hasn't done a good job.
Yeah, it's a different animal when you get into Texas and you're not a big dog. Like, Houston's just not a big program.
You can't recruit there, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
tough.
He had a pretty sweet gig, I thought, at West Virginia that he left. I know, obviously, way more money at Houston. That's why he went. But damn, dude, he had a pretty nice. And he's gonna get fired, but he'll get another job.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, John, you got anything else in this 10 o'clock window? If not, I think that wraps us up.
No, man. I have like just the quarters, like you guys were mentioning. So I have like some first quarters, but I'm not really going crazy at 10 o'clock. I think I'm gonna rest a little. I'm gonna watch Oregon, enjoy my life. Watch Colorado, enjoy my life, and hope Fresno wins because I have some futures on them. That's it. I'm just gonna be chilling at night, getting ready for Sunday.
Perfect. Beautiful.
That wraps us up. Knicks, Jets, etc. period on our YouTube or on the Winning Picks Weekly side. We have also Jets episodes. Winning Picks Weekly is also available on audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon, all there. We have the NFL full slate. We have this full slate that we just did. Let us know what you got. Hit us up on Twitter at JimMurphy7 at Winning Picks Weekly. Anything else, guys?
No,
All right,
good
we
luck to
out.
everyone except
No.
for Chip when he's against me.
Exactly. And when he's rooting for Syracuse.
Syracuse can win.
Not on
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one of the teams has to win. It's just not going to be Syracuse.
Not
You
this
got
week.
them +2.5. You got them. They could still win. They can win by 1 in your.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, there you go.